What is going on, guys? Greggles TV. This is going to be an unboxing and first impressions of the Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. And when you order, at least here in America, you end up getting up to $235 worth of free gifts. And this is what I chose. I ended up choosing the blue Galaxy Bud Pluses. I already have the white ones. Samsung actually gave me the white ones for free when I went to the Unpacked event for the Galaxy S20. And so I chose the blue ones. And then I also chose the wireless charger DuoPad, which will allow me to charge my watch and my phone wirelessly at the same time. This is perfect for me because I always either misplace and never know where my watch charging pad is, so this is gonna be great for me. And that's why I chose this one. So this is the box for the Galaxy S20 5G. I got the unlocked version, 512 gigabytes, 16 gigs of RAM, and I got it in the color of black. And on the back here, you get a, it tells you what the package contains and unlocked by Samsung, and that's pretty much it. Now I have already opened this up and set it up, at least the phone that is. So here is the Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. Get that big hunk of camera sticking out right there. And I can't wait to do some case reviews on this to really show if any case is fully aligned with it and protect that camera, because I think that's gonna be a big selling point for cases. You get your buttons on the side here on the right hand side, which is a nice return, especially if you're coming from the Note 10. Volume up and down, and then the power button. No Bixby button at all anywhere on here. Again, I love that. Never used the Bixby button. I mean, you could customize it, but that's about it. There is a microphone, there is USB-C type charging, and then you get a speaker at the bottom. There's also a speaker built into the top here, so you get stereo speakers. Camera on the front, hopefully you can see it right there, and then you get all the cameras on the back here as well. Inside of the box, that's where you get your SIM card eject tool, and it should be all the terms and conditions and stuff like that. And it says right on here, this device is packaged with a screen protector. If you remove it and want to use a different screen protector, make sure it allows for the use of the touchscreen features. This is a 25 watt charger. They did not, there was rumors they were going to include a 45 watt one with the Ultra version of the phone. They did not. It is a 25 watt charger here. Not the end of the world, because there's not that much of a difference between the 25 watt and the 45 watt. It is USB-C on here and obviously on the phone as well, so both ends are USB-C. This is the USB-C to USB-C cable, and they also give you USB-C headphones. So you just plug these USB-C headphones into the bottom of your phone, and you can use, regular traditional headphones like you would. They also give you different ear tips. The other thing you get an option of when you order it on Samsung's website directly is you do get the ability to order an OTG adapter if you need it. I got it. I mean, it was free. It was just an additional thing you had to check off. So this just allows you to transfer data from one phone to another if you have a phone that doesn't have USB-C at the bottom of it. All right, guys, so I have this set up. I'm logged into almost all of my apps at this point. And the thing that I noticed most of all is how smooth it is with that 120 hertz display. It's amazing. It's definitely something I hope they bring to the 2K plus resolution side of this, because right now it's only on the 1080p side. So I'll show you that real quick. I'll go into display, motion smoothness, and in motion smoothness you can see high refresh rate. I have it set to 120, and it's awesome. I mean, they say the battery life goes down a little bit, which I haven't had had this long enough to really notice anything on that. But again, that's only set to 1080p plus. So if I go back into display and I go into screen resolution, you can see it's set to 2400 by 1080. But if I switch it to 3200 by 1440, which is 2K plus, I'm gonna hit apply. It's gonna say high refresh rate isn't supported in WQHD plus. Your screen will change to standard refresh rate. Now, just to let you know, there's a rumor going around, and I've talked about this on my news show, that there's the potential that they're gonna push out an update that will allow WQHD plus, AKA 2K plus, to run at 120 hertz. It's not out just yet, but it is something that supposedly they will be working on. But yeah, so far, awesome stuff. I did also take a photo. Let me show you that photo real quick. So I used the front camera on here, and this is one of the photos that I took, and this is the live focus. I think it came out really well, especially the lighting that was going around. It's kind of dark and at night, and it came out great. And then here's a non-live focus photo. Again, I thought it came out really sharp. I was very impressed with that. Next, I'll show you a couple of videos. This will be a video of me talking with the front-facing camera. Here you go, using the front-facing camera on the Galaxy S20 Ultra 4K 60. How do you think it looks and sounds with this setup? Let me know, guys. And then here's the wide-angle camera with the Galaxy S20 Ultra. How do you think this looks and sounds? Yeah, let me know. And obviously one of the big things is when you go into settings on video and choose rear facing camera, you can choose 8K video, 7680 by 4320. The selected resolution doesn't support tracking and autofocus and video effects. If you do choose to choose that, again, that is the newest thing. I don't think a lot of people are gonna use it, but yeah, it is there if you need it. Other than that, when you go into video, you have the ability to shoot in 4K 60 on the front and the back. I'll show you that. That's a new feature here. 4K 60 on the front and the back. But the one thing is, if you do choose 4K 60 on the rear camera, you are unable to choose the wide angle again this year. Kind of lame. I wish they allow you to, but for some reason they don't. You have to change that to 430 and below in order to shoot on video with the ultra wide angle camera. The other big thing is single take. That gives you the ability to, when you press that, for instance, I'll just hold it right here. And when you press and hold it, it basically shoots a video and will give you, whatever, different angles and tell you what the best photo is. So I'll hit stop right there and I'll show you, I'll click on it. And you can see it shows the video that I just did, but then it also, with like the AI, chooses the best photo. You can look at little video clips. So yeah, just something a cool little feature that's built into the phone. And then going back into settings, sounds and vibrations to see, I'll show you now. There's really not that much new in here, at least that I noticed. And I can do a deeper dive at another time, but there's some, notification, controls and things like that. Display obviously has the new thing, like I showed you earlier, where you can do the high refresh rate. You can change the navigation bar if you want to, and then you can do that on the other Galaxy phones if you didn't know. If you want gestures or to use the traditional buttons, themes, lock screen, biometrics, and security, all that stuff's pretty much the same. You still have the on-screen fingerprint sensor, facial recognition if you want to unlock your phone with your face. So not a huge amount of differences in terms of like features on the phone with software or anything like that. If you're used to a Galaxy phone, you're gonna be very used to the same kind of software setup. So don't be surprised if it looks very similar to what you're used to. Next, let's check out a video here.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily. Let's get into
nice and loud
news. First story of the day is if you're in the US of A,
fully zoomed out,
S20 arrives today. Look at all that rhyming.
Just FYI, when you are watching a video, if you have the screen set to 1080p, it'll only let you watch videos in 1080p up to 1080p 60. Another big thing is 5G, but you have to have a phone plan that allows you for that, or your carrier has to have 5G where you live, which it's quite limited. So I didn't put my SIM card in this just yet. And plus my plan doesn't allow me to have 5G on AT&T. I have to have certain newer plans. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you do get this phone, don't automatically think you will have 5G. You might have to change your plan on the carrier that you're on. But anyways, guys, just first impressions, super fast, super smooth. Absolutely loving that. I really hope they add 2K 120 hertz to the display. Again, there should be an update. There's already been an update pushed out for this phone for the camera. I talked about that on my news show, but I actually got it on my unlocked version of this phone. So it has the latest camera update for it, which so far, I mean, everything's been working really, really well. But other than that, I'm just loving the smoothness of the phone. There's not a huge amount of difference between this and coming from a Galaxy Note 10 in terms of the software experience and things like that. Obviously, this doesn't have an S Pen, but regardless, it's still a beautiful phone so far. And if you're new to the Galaxy line, I think you'll absolutely love it. Weight-wise, it definitely has some heft to it. I know that might be something people are concerned with, but I mean, it doesn't feel too much. It definitely feels heavier than my Note 10 Plus, which has a case on it at the time of, holding this, but otherwise it's nothing too crazy where I feel like I'm gonna get complete phone fatigue or hand fatigue. Let me know what you guys think so far of the Galaxy S20 Ultra or whatever S20 that you got in the comments down below. If you wanna pick it up, it's linked down below. See you guys down the road. Peace.